I love Mike. Mike is How
about Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor?
Too many hairbusts, man. That shit was nasty.
Hey, would you like to see him face Evander Holyfield next?
72, while judges Lawrence Cole and Jesse Reyes see it 79 to 73.
But Leonard, Ray, what did you think of the fight? What did you think of the fight?
Jake!
It was disappointing. Would you like to see it again? Would you like to see it? Would you like to see Mike Tyson fight again in the ring, an exhibition match against Evander Holyfield?
I always want to see Mike fight.
Yeah. Is this kind of what you expected?
He didn't get off fast.
What could he done different? Did Jake Paul look a little bit slow to you? Hey, Leonard.
Hey, Ray, any thoughts on the Serrano fight? Serrano, Katie Taylor, what you think about it? Did you think the right person won? Thank you, Ray.
I think Ray was just being polite because I actually watched that fight when I was here on Friday night, ladies and gentlemen, of course. And I felt that even if you watch that fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, Serrano's won the fight, but they ended up giving it to her. She was an Irish woman who actually had a point deducted for headbutting. And good evening, first of all, to all my family, my friends on Facebook, on X, on Rumble, YouTube, whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you are blessed and doing safe. We are live, and I'm coming at you with 5. You didn't miss anything. That wasn't a fight. Now, of course, you're tuning in. I want everybody to make sure you hit that notification bell, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We are talking about several things, including that fight, but also I'm going to be talking about what happened in some more important news in a minute about Malcolm X's assassination. We'll deal with that in a minute. So what we got to ask ourselves, though, for tonight, I call this the Great White Dope for many reasons, and what's going on, Danielle? So let's talk about it. Forgive me for not coming on the screen, but how many of you actually saw the fight if you're there? The undercard fights were good. They had like too many undercard fights. I think the broadcast started at 7 o'clock. The main event, didn't come on till damn near 11 o'clock. So, and it wasn't a traditionally sanctioned boxing fight between Tyson and Paul. It was actually the rounds were no more than, I think, 2 minutes, and they were 8 rounds. When Mike Tyson fought, and we're talking about guys like Evander Holyfield, you saw Sugar Ray. Yeah, Sugar Ray doesn't age. Sugar Ray is in his 60s, 65 years, 66 years old, and still looks good. And brother, yeah. So what's going on? So yeah, he fought Jake Paul. Jake Paul, traditionally, not really a boxer. This is a guy who is known for doing internet videos. That's how he got his start. He was an internet sensation. And I'll give credit, though, where credit is due. He has capitalized, I guess, you want to call it this market. He has an audience because he's made his money in YouTube. He has an audience that appeals to this nerdy, this dirty generation that likes, arrogant, lanky white boys. Now, he took on Mike Tyson, who's 58 years old, and Jake Paul, Logan is his brother, is 27 years old. Now, he started doing boxing, I think it started like 4 years ago when he did that Thriller event. Remember, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. were actually doing a exhibition fight. That was during the pandemic. And Roy Jones actually was on commentary, him and Rosie Perez. And I don't know why they put Rosie on there. That was a disaster. No, though Rosie, I'll give her credit where credit is due. She wasn't too annoying until she opened her mouth to say the Katie Taylor deserved respect. I just stopped at that. I don't know why they put her on there. I didn't want to hear a Puerto Rican accent. She's not like talking as much as she was when she was a youngster. Yeah, those fights were legendary. Yeah, she's a boxing fan. Yeah. Yeah, that's Mike in the corner. People were calling it trash. The big problem they had too was the streaming on it. If you know YouTube, when they go and do a live stream, there's always a technical issue. There was buffering. Uh, it just so happened they even buffered at the time when Mike had his bare ass showing. Mike was trying to get Mike wasn't in his trunks, and they came and did an interview with him. His son actually was doing an interview. So, which tells me, and this is how I leads with this whole thing. The whole thing I thought was, in my opinion, it was staged and set up from that slap that they had because Jake Paul got slapped by Mike Tyson for standing on his foot. They hyped this up, I think, so that they could beat uh, the white boy could beat Mike Tyson. You're great fighter because Tyson is one of the greatest fighters of all time, bar none. Greatest heavyweights, one of the greatest heavyweights. Uh, I can think of the youngest heavyweight champion. Think of that in 1986. In 1986, I was just born. He was 19 years old, and he was able to uh, capture the heavyweight championship at such a young age. Think about that. At 20 years old, you're on top of the world and you got money, you got fame, you have girls screaming at you. That's a lot for a young man. And fame is a hell of a drug, as they say. But right, the whole thing seemed to me when I watched it, it seemed fake and staged because there was one point in the fight. What's going on? What's going on to my man Keating Rook? Phantom Beat. Yeah, Netflix kept stalling out. And yeah, just like this. Netflix kept buffering. So a lot of people, and you see this here, will say they were left disappointed by the oh God, come on. A lot of people were complaining, saying they were left disappointed by it. I kind of expected this, but the person who won this match, bar none, had to have been Netflix because, as many of you may know, Netflix they drew in 60 million households. And Jake Paul is also another big winner because Jake Paul's promotion company, MVP Promotions, was the one that put this on. So he's trying to go the route of Floyd Money Mayweather because Mayweather not only boxed his fights, but he also promoted his fights. And Mayweather, although unlike Jake Paul, he came up through boxing. That was his way to make a living. And I give, of course, Jake Paul got paid $40 million for this fight. Mike got 20. So I'm not surprised Mike did this. Mike did this for a bag, it seemed. And what was funny is before the fight, hold on, let me put some music on. Before the fight, Mike did an interview with a young girl, and she got to what we used to experience as a kid whenever Mike Tyson did his. Y'all see that? Did y'all see that? The young journalist when he was talking about his legacy. What legacy? Oh, I want y'all to listen. Did y'all see this? This is Mike Tyson's interview.
For kids my age to see the legend
I just said,
Mike
don't
Tyson
curse, Mike.
in the
Don't
ring for the
curse.
first time. What type of legacy would you
Okay,
like
you
to
gonna
leave
stop on your
behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before, someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead? You think somebody really wants to think about you? I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the cares about me when I'm dying.
Oh,
So Mike Tyson
he almost made it.
making his point clear, not holding back, even in front of an innocent kid. You could tell where he stands on legacy.
You
He
saw that's the slap.
doesn't care at all. Some comments said, why is he looking at her like she just dissed his entire family tree? A lot of people are saying the old Mike is back. He is laser focused. He's in a killer mindset. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on this interview from Mike Tyson and his upcoming fight again.
You know, Mike ain't back. Mike, it just was painful to watch the fight. It was painful to watch the fight. The fight was scripted, and Mike didn't care. This was a sanctioned fight, by the way. This was an actual sanctioned fight, although it's not like with a WBA or WBC. It was a sanctioned boxing fight. So for the first 8 rounds, the first of the 8 rounds, Mike Tyson actually was very aggressive and came out swinging. Second round, he was like, okay, but it wasn't good. But from that point on, he just wasn't punching. He wasn't coming at Jake Paul. It looked like his legs were gone. Even Rosie Perez, Jake Paul wasn't teeing off on Mike Tyson like he should. He was eating some shots, but he wasn't teeing off on Mike like he could have. And even Rosie Perez was commenting, she wondered why he wasn't teeing off on him, which was interesting. So you could see through the fight, Mike was biting his glove. Mike was... And even the excuse he gave about biting his glove, I didn't buy that. He said, I do this all the way through my fight. I never known Mike Tyson to be biting his glove like that. But that Mike's legs were gone. I don't want to play the fight video. Y'all can watch some of it, but he kept biting his glove. Yeah. I'll do. I have a biting fixation. Yeah. Well, Holyfield knows about biting. Right. Holyfield knows that. So hold on.
He can't figure it out.
Y'all can hear that.
So
He gets nervous when he starts biting on his glove.
but he couldn't get to his ear, so he's biting his glove. But no. The thing is, Mike, everything that Mike used to fight, he get real low, and he sprang off the ledge and tell you up. So when you can't, and it seemed like he didn't bend down low enough, and anything like that. So
legs don't cooked.
Right then when I seen them reactions and stuff like that, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Once he started biting.
Yeah. And so this is somebody wrote this. Tariq Nasheed put this up. This is who Mike Tyson lost to. Yeah.
Looking for this.
Oh, yeah. That's Jake Paul. That's Jake Paul. A lot of people were saying the fight was staged. I thought that it was. I knew it was. That's why they couldn't put it on pay-per-view. They were going to put something like nobody. Jake Paul, first of all, I'm not going to say he can't draw a crowd. He clearly did that night, although people came to actually see Mike Tyson. They didn't come to see Jake Paul. Jake Paul is an internet guy. Jake Paul put that on. Mike Tyson was coming back. So people who didn't came to see him, and also younger people, because they know we talked about how Tyson was. They wanted to see what he looked like. So it was going to be a draw. Of course, nobody had, but Jake Paul, y'all really think was going to draw in pay-per-view numbers? Yeah, Tyson wasn't throwing hooks when he was there. I mean, look, Tyson would have teed off right on the body. He really would have clocked Jake Paul, but they got people thinking that Jake Paul could actually beat Tyson. And even the announcer, let's see if I could find it. That's what really ticked me off. The announcer was saying,
nice shot by Jake Paul.
Right hand by Paul. That is
he can put that he's got beat Mike Tyson on his
he has
record.
knocked down or knocked out every opponent he has faced. Tyson, just ask Kevin McBride, just ask Francois Botha, Evander Holyfield, you get the gist.
Right, not teeing off, nothing. And he looked completely different. He looked completely different from what he was. Now somebody wrote.
Really knocked Jake back. Land his jab right there. That really knocked Jake back.
Straight left.
Land his jab right.
People were calling it embarrassing for boxing. These two aren't even trying. Tyson has the meanest right hook and hasn't thrown it once. Give me a break. Well, and now people, yeah, they got these fools bringing up the past conviction that he had in the 90s that he's already spent did his time for. Yeah, I'm on Rumble right now, Danielle. I'm on Rumble. Guys, what were y'all expecting? Was it staged? Some people say it just wasn't staged. It was just Mike showing his age. And look, Mike is 58 years old. Jake Paul is 27. I mean, age is a reality. No matter how good you are, no matter how great you are in a sport that you once were, Father Time is undefeated. There is a reason why there's a forced retirement age in our country on some occupations for a reason. Mike was biting the script. So that's the question for the night. Did y'all think for those that watched the fight, if you didn't watch it, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a boxing fight. Some are not. They're just saying that was a entertainment thing. Netflix won the night. Now, here's the thing that's interesting about Netflix. With this live streaming and what this did, Netflix now is getting into the NFL. Christmas Day, they have 2 NFL games. I think the Steelers and the Chiefs, and the other one is the Bengals. I'm sorry, is it the Bengals and the Ravens, or the Ravens are playing some team? They're playing on Christmas Day. So Netflix is getting into that. Plus, so that's a live stream. Plus, they're getting into the WWE next year. And I think all of that is connected to this, which is what they were doing to see what draws they can get. The system kept buffering, which was a disappointment for a lot of people. People kept complaining about that. Yeah, Mike only threw 97 punches, and he landed 18 of them. And Jake Paul is 11-1. Yeah, of course it was trash. What did y'all think? Y'all think Jake Paul would have gotten in the ring with Mike Tyson even at 30 if Mike was 36? Last time he actually was in a boxing ring he was 39, 38 years old. Y'all think Jake Paul stepping in the ring with that, even with that Mike Tyson? And Mike said he didn't care. He didn't care about the result of the fight. He got paid. He got his 20 million. He didn't care about a legacy. You know, and look, Mike Tyson lost a lot of money when he was younger. At one point, Mike Tyson was worth $300 million or more. You know, he had mansions, he had homes in different states, he had cars, women, he had everything. And he lost all of that from bad mismanagement to trusting the wrong people, divorces, courts, attorneys, all of that stuff adds up. So I can only imagine what he went through. And now at 58 years old, you have your children. You want to, you know, he has his kids, and I'm thinking he got that 20 million. Yeah. He had issues with Don. Yeah. A lot of people had issues with Don King. A lot of fighters. There's an interesting documentary somebody had on Don King back in the day. It's still, you can still watch it, but just the issues some of the fighters had with money, mismanagement of funds. They accused him. One fighter won a championship and only got paid like $15,000. But you know, Don King was, and a lot of people criticize Don King, but Don King was also the reason why boxing became a great deal. He's a great deal responsible for why boxing became what it was in the 80s and 90s, the 70s in particular. He was the one that promoted Rumble in the Jungle. That was watched around the world. They had the satellite feed. Yeah. The Rumble in the Jungle. Now, you know, as I'm looking on at StreamYard, through StreamYard right now, and I noticed I only got 10 views. Last week when we did the Tariq Nasheed versus Isaac Hayes on, I had almost Isaac Hayes, the third. I had over at least 100 people just watching. So they definitely are messing with my numbers. That's why I need you all to make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Make sure you're doing that. We are talking about this fight. So a lot of people think, some people think it was staged or fixed. Tell me in the comment what you think. And also, I want to just say this on a final note. What does that do for, do you think that was, and people have gone extreme, a buck breaking event? Do you think they were doing that to throw shame at our heroes, especially someone like Mike Tyson? They're trying to hype up Jake Paul. Like I said, the guy's not a fighter. He's not fighting real boxers. They're even talking about him fighting Canelo Alvarez. Or he probably could do that to get a quick payday. Yeah, was this a buck breaking event? Cheryl says, I think a 56-year-old man has no business fighting a 27-year-old. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, look, hey, if they offered you, Cheryl, if they offered you $20 million to mud wrestle with Lizzo, you turning that down? Even $5 million. A lot of fighters, y'all know, used to, with Don King, here's the interesting thing. In the 80s, when Mike Tyson was looking for opponents, Don King actually got Larry Holmes out of retirement a few months before the scheduled fight to fight Mike Tyson. Larry Holmes got $8 million. I think either $8 or $10 million to fight Mike Tyson. He got knocked out. But the point was he got paid to get knocked out. That's a hard day's work. That's money earned. That's money earned. Yeah, and Larry Holmes was one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. My dad actually met him. Yeah, this is the fight here. I could show this. This is from 1988. This was Tyson versus Holmes. Hold on, I'm gonna put this up so y'all could just see how bad this dude was. This was revenge for Muhammad Ali. That's what Mike Tyson said when he talked to Ali as a kid, a young kid back in 1980. Because he was with Cuss the model at the time, and Cuss and Ali were close friends. And he said, "Don't worry, when I get older, I'm gonna avenge your honor." And Ali was like, "All right, Cuss, who that little boy talking to me?" Go ahead, right. Boom.
That was a right hand, and down goes Holmes from a crashing right hand. The old Larry Holmes would always get up and fire back. But he's in against a guy who is a tremendous finisher. And down he goes again from another right. There's a full minute left in this round.
Larry trying to clear his head. That's why he's walking around. What he needs to do now is either tie his man up. He can't move because he's not steady. He needs to just hold on.
This is the Mike Tyson. You know, a lot of people were expecting this. I wasn't expecting this, but I didn't think. I thought he would put out an effort, a much harder effort. But I mean, he doesn't care about my opinion. He's happy. Mike actually was sick because that fight was canceled a few months ago.
30 seconds left.
Watch. But he's like Larry Holmes down twice. I like watching those fights.
15 seconds left.
Tyson still has to be careful because Larry. Oh, that shot. That's
Huge
it.
right hand.
That should be it.
Boom.
And down goes Holmes, and that's going to be it. It's over. That's all.
Different weight class, Danielle. Different weight class. It'd be like a mouse fighting a gorilla. Different weight class. Nah, that wouldn't work. I think that Mike did. Yeah. But that fight was canceled originally. They wanted because Mike had a health scare. So Mike, he doesn't care about his performance because he feels he wanted to prove something to himself. And look, George Foreman knocked out. I remember when George Foreman knocked out Michael Moore. George Foreman was 45, but George Foreman was 6'4". Mike Tyson's 5'10". And George, even though he was slow, if you stood in front of George, all George had to do was throw an uppercut. He'd lift you up in the air like he did Joe Frazier. Lizzo ad kicker aside from the money. Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Yeah, George Foreman is 75 years old and still, I think he still pack a punch. But we're going to move on. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Please donate to the channel, Cash App, PayPal or Zelle. Southpaw TV says Jake Paul is not a good person. He comes off as an ass. I don't know him. I don't think Jake Paul is a boxer though. Southpaw. He's not a boxer. He's a YouTube. He's a content creator masquerading as an athlete. That's the best way to put it. Now, yeah, he's in shape and so forth. But seriously, y'all think he could go up? Could he go up with fights against Canelo Alvarez or Gennady Golovkin? No. So, y'all make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what we're going to be talking about tonight for the rest of the evening, a few days ago, this past Friday, Malcolm X's daughter, his family, has filed a lawsuit against the United States government, in particular the Central Intelligence Agency, the FBI, and the NYPD over his assassination, claiming that these organizations were complicit in the murder of Malcolm X. And we're going to go ahead and play some video. Of course, y'all may not like this, but look who their lawyer is.
We here today are a $100 million lawsuit against the United States government, the FBI, the CIA, and the NYPD, who we believe all conspired to assassinate Malcolm X. It is not lost on us that justice has been delayed in this matter. And on this momentous occasion, we stand ready to lay out our complaint very soundly. We believe there is solid ground to go forward with this lawsuit at this time. Over the last 3 years, every day, every week, every month, we have been unearthing new evidence, evidence of people never having spoken before about what they witnessed during those turbulent times in the 1960s. The government fingerprints are all over the assassination of Malcolm X. And finally, we believe we have the evidence to prove it.
A major new lawsuit in connection with the assassination of civil rights leader Malcolm X back in 1965. His family is now suing multiple government and law enforcement agencies for $100 million, alleging those agencies were part of a conspiracy that led to his murder. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo has more.
It has taken us a long time to get to this point.
Today in Washington Heights, a historic announcement in a quest for justice. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump and Ilyasa Shabazz, the daughter of Malcolm X, standing together to announce a $100 million lawsuit against several government agencies.
It is not lost on us that justice has been delayed in this matter.
The suit targets the FBI, the CIA, the NYPD, and others. It accuses the agencies of being aware of and being involved in the assassination plot and failing to stop the killing.
The government fingerprints are all over the assassination of Malcolm X. And finally, we believe we have the evidence to prove it.
Malcolm X was 39 years old when he was shot 21 times by multiple gunmen on February 21st, 1965, during a speech at the Audubon Ballroom in Washington Heights. His wife and his children were in the crowd at the time.
My mother was pregnant when she came here to see her husband speak.
In the years since, questions have escalated about the role of law enforcement in his death.
Over the last 3 years, every day, every week, every month, we have been unearthing new evidence.
The family hopes this new legal action will lead them to the truth.
We will turn over every rock. We will open up every drawer. We will look at every file to get the truth about what happened to Malcolm X.
Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
The law enforcement agencies have not yet responded to the litigation.
I was just going to say, I'm sorry, I was muted. A lot of people may be wondering why the lawsuit is coming now. Is it outside the statute of limitations? Can they argue prescription? Well, a couple of things that may work in the favor of Malcolm's family, brother Malcolm's family, essentially is that, well, number one, because this was a homicide, homicides have no statute of limitations. So if a tortfeasor, or I shouldn't say just tortfeasor, but if a criminal, a murderer, were still alive and around and involved in the assassination, they could still be prosecuted. So it doesn't matter if it was 40 years ago, 70 years ago, 60 years ago, whatever. We see Nazi war criminals that are still being arrested today and charged with their crimes. So you can still be prosecuted with that. That's one thing. A lawsuit could still be filed because now we're figuring out and finding out what has happened some 30 years, 40 years later with evidence and information that we originally did not have. For instance, we never knew the stories about, having multiple gunmen, how it came out when the man who was part of Malcolm's security detail was working for the police department. He was undercover. How he admitted this and gave a deathbed confession, although we heard about it. Not to mention also the documentary that came out on Netflix a few years ago, which is what I had already heard. I've heard story about that. Supposedly one of the killers of Malcolm X was living in out there in New Jersey. He was living out there in New Jersey. He was the one that shot Malcolm with the shotgun, allegedly. And I just say alleged because, I'm believe in the American justice system, innocent till proven guilty. I wasn't there. And he was the one that blasted the shotgun that killed Malcolm. Now, brother Dick Gregory and I talked about it before, and there's video of Dick Gregory talking about Malcolm X. He's made it clear that Malcolm's was shot actually from up above, and that they gave the Negroes blanks, the Negro assassins blanks when shooting from down low. So what he stated was the angle from, according to what the autopsy report stated, Malcolm was being shot from a downward angle, not an upward angle, which is what they would be doing if he was on stage. I don't know that. Well, here's the thing, and even if that is true, and I would say it is, and I trust Bob Gregory. I think there was of course, we know there was a conspiracy. Either way, shape, or form, they were all complicit in Malcolm's murder, regardless of who killed what, even if they were actors. They were principals or accessories before the fact to an assassination. They went on it from the beginning. They did nothing to stop it. Nobody said anything against. They said nothing against it. And as such, our brother Malcolm X and the family, the Shabazz family, have been suffering for over 60 years because they have been without a patriarch. Almost 60 years now. They've been without their patriarch, without their father. Their mother has gone on and was dealing with that pain. Betty Shabazz was dealing with that for 30 years of her life, the rest of her life, and trying to keep her husband's legacy. And so, what did y'all think? Justice delayed, justice denied. I mean, look, most of these people are probably dead already who were involved. So, are they going to really get those who actually did it? J. Edgar Hoover is dead. I know J. Edgar Hoover had something to do with not just Malcolm X, but I certainly know he had something to do with Dr. King's assassination, Fred Hampton's assassination. And I give kudos to Ben Crump. I give kudos to Ben Crump for getting this lawsuit. Cheryl would say she wishes they had me. I don't know if Ben Crump, he probably does, but Ben Crump is based out in Florida, from my understanding. He has offices in Florida, Nevada. I believe he's got one in North Carolina. I've called his office before about stuff. They probably will get a settlement out of it. The problem, though, is, and I'm sure they can prove there was a conspiracy. I think the biggest problem for them, though, if you're suing the United States government, the FBI, CIA, and so forth, the only problem with that is they're likely to move the case to federal court as the defendants because they're government entities. And you might be playing with house money, if you dig my meaning. So, what do y'all think? So, I think they got a good case. I'm trying to see if I can find a copy of the lawsuit. And anybody gets it, let me know. Yeah. Ben Crump, what he does when he comes in with these cases, y'all know what he's doing? He's actually getting, if he's not licensed in the state, you can do what's called pro hac vice, where you can have a fellow attorney stand in on your behalf to welcome you in the bar of that state temporarily. and that's likely what he's doing or what he did. Because he saw that other attorney who was part of it, that attorney, Mr. Moore. So I think that's actually, I think that's a good case. They got a strong case against the U.S. government. Who we're hot on X. We got over 30 people watching according to this. We probably got even more. Make sure y'all smashing up the likes. That's where everybody is at, is on X right now. Y'all make sure you follow me there on X. Shit. Nah, we almost near the end of 2024, guys. Near the end of 2024. Think about that. So yeah. Really? Yeah. My X page. Oh, I'm gonna get you on X. This is my X page, Danielle. Make sure you follow. I put it in the comment section. All right. Wow. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up in a little bit. Shout out to my people on X. If you are on X, make sure you're giving this a love. Give me a love. Speaking of X, man, y'all know a lot of people have been. I've seen these celebrities that are quitting X now. They're going over to Bluesy, which I think is the Twitter version, the former Twitter version of Twitter. If you get my meaning, because X, of course, was bought by Elon Musk. It was now X. Twitter was bought by Elon Musk. And honestly, I like X. I've had a problem with it. I've had a problem with X because I've started to see myself, my channel, my page actually grow. I've gotten more followers while I've been on X and engaged more. If you get lucky with the algorithm, of course, and that's being dictated, you can actually go somewhere. People are getting endorsements for having Instagram and X. YouTube, yeah, it's dying out. X is better. I like X. So make sure we hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Drop something in the cash app. Hit that notification bell. I'll see y'all in the next one. Be safe, and be blessed, family. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Yeah, it wasn't a long live stream tonight. It wasn't gonna be long. It was just those two topics I was talking about. Be safe out here too. I gotta point that out because I saw some video of some neo-Nazis out there that were marching. They're gonna get their ass whipped. They mess with the wrong one. They mess with the wrong people. Yeah. Right. All these celebrities that are leaving, they're leaving now after Trump wins. You know, if Trump had won, you think they were gonna leave X? Yeah. I like this music. All right, Danielle. I'm gonna leave out here with some music. Y'all have a good weekend. Hope your weekend was great. I hope y'all have a better week. We got one more week. We got Thanksgiving coming up next week, man. It's crazy. A lot to get through. All right, y'all. Be safe, and be blessed. I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank you, Danielle. Y'all drop something in the Cash App if you can, if you support me. Appreciate you, Cheryl the Pearl, as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll holla. Peace. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel GBoot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.